As you might have noticed at the FII, we talk a lot about impact on humanity. But impact is a very important word in your line of business.
Yeah, I think that, at the end of the day, we need to reshuffle our moral compass. So, where does our money spend the night? Like, we should really think about it. What's the impact of our capital allocation? And for me, it's like challenging the status quo. So, if we're serious about tackling the climate crisis, if we're serious about reducing social inequalities, we really need to rethink our capital allocation. So coming from an emerging country, we really care about, the social issues that we're facing nowadays. And we think that private markets, they do have a responsibility and an opportunity to face those challenges. So that's what impact, means to me. It's a phase. I think that, we really need to understand that we're now being super advocates about impact, but at the end of the day, a few years from now, I want to talk about solely investing. It's not going to be tolerable to invest in an asset or a company without caring about externalities. Like, you will care about the impact, the social outcomes, the environmental outcomes.
Do you think these are trends or is it wishful thinking?
I think it's a generational cause. I think that, we're realizing that at the end of the day, we're all, living under the same roof. So we're facing systemic challenges, social climate challenges. So I think that, we are being, for the first time, real about solving the climate crisis and blending the government with the private markets. So it can be fluffy from time to time, but I think now we're taking it seriously and we're seeing amazing founders building impact-oriented ventures and amazing capital allocators blending, financial return with the aim of getting social and environmental positive outcomes.
If I understand right, you're interested in companies at the early stages of their lifetime. Why is that so?
I'm crazy about, fostering innovation, fostering technology, but technology is not immoral, it's amoral. You can use AI to spread fake news and challenge democracy, but you can use the same exact technology and better organize an ER and maybe save a life. Or, sell carbon credits and get more capital to restore natural ecosystem. So I think at the end of the day, ESG impact is why we're investing here, why this company needs to exist. So what's the outcome? And I think that, we're realizing that distancing profit and purpose is a false dichotomy. So we need to tear it down.
What is the stance of the emerging markets towards ESG?
I think that the emerging markets is, we are starting to think globally. Like, how can we bridge the global north and the global south? How can we transfer technology, exchange ideas, and really collaborate? Because, thinking about the global south, we have the tropical forest, we have huge underserved markets and communities, and we need to be part of the solution. And I think that the global north is starting to realize that if we want to tackle systemic challenges, it needs to be, a team play. So we should invest in restoring natural ecosystems in the global north. And of course, we will have, big players purchasing carbon credits in the global north. And it's a way of investing in nature-based solutions, restoring, natural ecosystem, but also making money, also creating new markets, new jobs. So this is a very optimistic view, but it's real. I think we're starting to realize that it is possible. We're seeing some of the brightest minds out there, wanting to start a new company to tackle a pressing social environmental challenge, and we're starting to see private markets going hand in hand with governments to think about policies, capital allocation, and once again, it's something very generational. Like it speaks deep with the youngest generations that want to make a difference. They talk about purpose. They want to work for a company that has something that goes beyond profit. It is profitable, but not just profitable. It cares about all the stakeholders. So for me, it's a radical revolution that we have the privilege of eyewitnessing.
It seems that you are very optimistic about the young generation.
I am, I'm super optimistic about, us solving the climate crisis. I'm a little less optimistic when thinking about social issues, screen time, but I'm seeing like the new generation, these guys, they're gonna suffer the biggest impacts arising from the climate crisis. So we're seeing what's happening here in Brazil, in Rio Grande do Sul. People are being hammered by the climate crisis, people are losing their homes. And the newest generation, I think they came with a different mindset, a different ship. So they're not looking at all those, climate misadventures as a government issue, but something that it's personal, it's professional, and it's a cause. And they're embracing that. For me, what is changing nowadays is that the new generation, when they have the money to consume or to invest, they're thinking about the climate, they're thinking about social inequality, and when they choose to work for a company, they want to understand if that company is aligned with ESG, with more diversity, with a purpose that is make money, but not make money generating outsized externalities that will be faced by society and the planet.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.